All right, family. It's Dion Michelle here with KB.
Yeah, KB Kelvin.
And we call him Supernova because of all of the wonderful things that he does in the community. He's an actor. He's an activist. He's just an all-around incredible young man. I asked him to come and hang out with me today. You know, we're going to talk about a subject that a lot of people say they know something about, but they don't always show they know something about. And that subject is love. So let's just take that word right there. Let's just take the word. Tell me when you hear the word love. Wait a minute. Let me back up. Because, see, we were talking about this a little bit. Think about it this way. If I say I love my car, I love chicken and greens, I love shoes, and then I turn around and say I love you, what does that really mean? I feel like that even devalues the word itself.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
I know. I hear people. I love my football. I love my PS4. Man, the shoes. The love they got for them shoes. Have you seen when like someone's girlfriend pours bleach on their shoes and their clothes?
Oh man, I've never seen that.
Oh,
I hope not to. And then they break down, huh?
You might as well set a Tasmanian devil in a dark room because it's gonna be crazy.
And I say all that because we often look at it like it's not a big deal. We use that word so cavalierly. You know, if we were talking spiritually, it says that the greatest gift of all, the thing that God did, was that he sent his son, right? And his son loved the world, and God loved the world so much that he sent his only begotten son to save us. So then you make it trivial and talk about how much you love fried chicken. Do you understand where I'm coming from, KB?
Do.
Right? So I started thinking about this thing a little bit differently than most people think about it. You know, obviously love has 4 letters. I'm going to just break it down in a way that I want people to start looking at it from the perspective of how your mate, your family, the people that you say you love, maybe what they should expect from you when you say that word. Oh. Right? So here's how I look at it. Let's break these 4 letters down. The L being listen, the O being overcome, the V being value, and the E being enhance. So now if you think about this, if we're talking about you with your spouse, your significant other, or even a family member, the first thing we want to talk about is that L and listening. When you say you love somebody, what does that mean to you when it talks about how you need to listen to that person?
I feel like with any situation, it's like this dealing with like somebody you're dealing with that you care about. It's hard to listen because most people, when they listen, they're already thinking about what they're going to say. So they're not really listening. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I had to learn. It's like, you know, just listen because sometimes you might miss something that you needed to hear because you're so, you know, anxious on getting out what you want to say. And if you really love someone, like I said, it's hard to listen. And some things you might not want to hear.
And that's true.
But that's a part of it.
That's right. And we always say you got one mouth and 2 ears for a reason. One of the most difficult things to do, especially if somebody that you care about is telling you something about you, is to sit quietly, hear their heart, and try to understand what it is that they're saying. But if you really want the relationship to work, that's probably one of the biggest things that you have to do. I always hear people that talk about relationships talk about communication. Well, that's one part of it. It's not just talking. It's also listening.
You're right about that because it's like, it's kind of like if I call you, you know what I'm saying, and you're talking, you're not listening to me. If I call, like I could be telling you and it's an emergency. So what I start doing to people, it's kind of crazy. I'll put the phone on mute so that way if I want to say something, I already know I can't.
Now listen, I would commend that to a few people, especially when they know that the person they love is upset with them. Let's say you know your mother is upset with you. Instead of you trying to explain yourself, maybe what you need to do is put the phone on mute. Let your mother tell you what's upsetting her. And then you take it off mute. And then you say, Mom, I heard you. I love you. I will do what I can not to do that again. Instead of you already being ready to defend yourself. Okay? That next letter, that O, overcome. Now let me tell you why I selected overcome. Because in any relationship, you're going to have to overcome some stuff.
Oh, definitely.
Right? In order for it to go forward, I don't care what it is. It could be maybe I made you a bad sandwich. It could be maybe I didn't pay the bills on time. But you're going to have to overcome something.
Maybe I cheated.
Maybe I cheated. And the question is, can I stay after I cheated? You know, we were talking about the idea of infidelity. And, you often wonder, man, why did he stay with her? Why did he stay with them? But you think about it. Those vows, it say till death do us part. It don't say until somebody cheated.
Well, and I think, I might be wrong now. What's your opinion on this? Because you can love somebody and still mess up.
Yo, come on.
Like, I feel like you can do that.
That's right. We're human.
Right. And the person, someone asked me one day, what is human? It's being able to make a mistake. Like, that's a part of being human. It's like not that, I guess not that we're human, it's a part of being human. We're not made perfect. If we were made perfect, I would be a millionaire.
And we're going to get on the whole concept of even being a millionaire and why maybe we're not.
It's coming. It's coming.
Right? Because it's coming. Yeah, and I think that the overcoming and being human, sometimes we don't even want to give people the space to be human. We think that they're supposed to do everything right when we don't do everything right.
And then we so mad when they mess up.
Come on.
It's like, well, I'll just say it like this. I've had to overcome a lot of things.
Okay.
Especially like being in, like, I was in the military. So it's some stuff that I had to overcome because I had no choice and I had no guidance.
Right.
And then it's like, I'll bring that back to love. It's like, it's the same thing. Sometimes when you're in a relationship, you have no guidance.
That's right.
And so how do you overcome the situations? They're new.
That's right. And sometimes you just have bad guidance. It's almost like being a parent. Let's say that my mother didn't have an example on how to be a parent. And then we expect, as kids, we expect the mother to be perfect. It's hard when you've never had an example. If everything that you've ever seen is broken marriages, abusive relationships, people breaking up, it's hard to understand what a healthy, good relationship is. You actually have to seek that out or go get counseling or whatever the case may be. That's why I say that you have to overcome some stuff. So that O in LOVE would be overcome.
So that's very important. That's like, because it's going to bring you back to the love.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Because if you really love somebody, you're going to overcome some stuff.
Absolutely. So then I would say that V would be to value the person. Value them.
Like they value the shoes? Or the PS4?
I want you to value them more than you value those things. You know, I used to date this guy. I'm not going to say his name because he may end up seeing this, but everything about him was car, motorcycle, or I had another relationship where I told somebody one time, I said, if I'm taking care of you and you're taking care of you, who's taking care of me?
Right.
But that's part of you valuing yourself as well.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Because I feel like if you can't value yourself, how can you value somebody else?
And if you can't value yourself, why do you expect that person to have value for you?
Right.
So that V is important.
Because it's like, for example, like, okay, if I value you, I value what you're saying, I'm valuing how you feel. Like, value is basically like kind of like caring, basically. And it's like, if you care, you're gonna work through it. But to be, trying to say hurtful stuff, stuff that people say stuff that they can't take back. You can't take that back once you say it. That's right.
It already came out. It's like putting toothpaste back in the tube. It can't happen.
Right. And it's like some things that are already understood shouldn't have to be explained or even brought up.
Yeah, I agree. I shouldn't have to tell you not to disrespect me. I shouldn't have to tell you.
Because I value you. If I value you, I'm not going to do that.
That's right. And we're not talking about, you get angry and you like, I'm leaving. That's different. But it's a whole nother thing to say you be or you ate whole. That kind of stuff is the stuff that we want to keep out of a relationship because that shows that you don't value those people. And that E goes along with the value. The E would be to enhance. Okay? And I tell people, when you come to the table, you should come with more than a knife and a fork. I want you to come for something other than just to eat, like your cousin Junebug when they come to the family barbecue. They haven't brought anything with them other than an appetite. So how are you enhancing the relationship? It's and this is nothing derogatory on anyone, but I think it's the mindset. So if there's a football or basketball player and they end up dating somebody that's not going to college, they don't have a career path, you start to wonder, what is that person bringing to the table? And I don't care if it's male or female, because there are WNBA players whose spouses and mates, similar women's soccer players who their mates may be in a similar circumstance.
Well, and then some people, like I have a friend that's okay with his wife being at home.
Yeah, that's okay.
And not doing anything. But at the end of the day, it's like, this is me, for example.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm with somebody, I feel like if you give 100% and I give 100%, if I fall short 25% or 50%, we still over 100%.
We still over 100. Yeah, that's right.
Even if I hit rock bottom, I know you still got
That's right.
100%.
They got it.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is when you look at it, so let's say that it's a stay-at-home spouse. Mm-hmm. That's all okay, but the question is what do you bring into the relationship? It doesn't have to be monetary. Right. It could be support. Maybe you're helping them with their business ventures. Maybe you're the person that handles all their charitable endeavors. Whatever. The point is you should be enhancing the relationship. Right. So when I say love, I'm not just talking about that feeling you get in your heart or in the pit of your stomach when you get butterflies when you see that person.
Right.
Or apparently when you eat chicken or find a nice pair of shoes, whatever that is.
Right.
I'm talking about you listen. You realize that you're going to have to overcome some things. You value the person that you're with. And you're not just coming with a knife and a fork to the table. You're going to enhance the relationship.
And going along with enhance, like just one quick thing, I feel like people get too comfortable. I feel like you should always you should always dress up for your girl, dress up for your man.
Mm-hmm.
I see these women walking around, hair not done and looking crazy, and it's like. But then you wonder why his eyes over there. Or you wonder why her eyes over there.
That's right.
You walking around here and ain't shaved, ain't took a bath in 2 days. It's just crazy to me.
Everything is all jogging pants, and I don't mean a slick jogging suit like you would find on Kel's Mind's website or the Queen Apparel. Okay, I'm gonna throw that out there. No, we're not talking about that. And every day don't have to be I gotta get fly day, but it should always be I care enough about you that I'm going to let you know that in my hygiene and my appearance. But that's going to be a whole nother spinoff of discussions.
And I'm ready for that one. But to recap, so pretty much we'll go over them again. Mm-hmm. But I want to know, what is the most important one to you? Or is it already in order?
And you know what? I think that I don't know if I can pick a most important one, but what I will say is this.
Good answer.
Most people will tell you that where relationships fall apart is at the communication. Mm-hmm. So if I had to say anything, it would probably be listening. Oh, wow. If you're not going to hear the heart of the person that you're with, why be with them? Because if you're not careful, they'll go and get somebody else's listening ear.
Oh, wow. And
that'll end up being the beginning of the end for whatever you hope to have with that person. How about you? Between listening, overcoming, value, and enhancing, what would you say is the one that touches you?
Well, I'll say, to me, it's love. Because if you love
overall,
if I genuinely love you, mm-hmm. I'm gonna listen. Mm. I'm gonna overcome any issue we have. If I genuinely love you, mm-hmm. regardless of what it is, I'm gonna overcome. We're gonna overcome it. We gonna have to overcome
that's
it.
right.
If you want to stay together,
that's right.
And then the value, it's like, man, it's without communication, you're not gonna have that. But like I said, if you love somebody, you're not gonna communicate. Mm-hmm. You're gonna communicate, mm-hmm. and then if you're communicating with mm-hmm. a person, you can't but value them.
Yeah, that's right. What they're saying. You're valuing what they're saying.
And then enhance. If I love you, I'm going to make sure it's enhanced. I'm going to go out my way. I might not open the door every time, mm-hmm. but if it cross my line, hey, let me open the door for me.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. Well, and again, the point isn't just what our take is on it. The point is what your take is on it.
So you can leave a comment. If you got any questions, hit the inbox, mm-hmm. and you can email us. We'll get back to you. We'll answer your questions, or if you got a subject that you want to hear us talk about, just go ahead and hit us up on an email, and we'll get back with you.